Alright guys, Afterlife. Let's dig into this very quirky SimCity in heaven and hell type of game. So, here is Afterlife in the basic map. For those of you who haven't played it, it's quite different than just your ordinary city building game. Let's make sure our tempo here is, yes, divine intervention. That means paused. So in this game, the goal is we're going to build up a thriving afterlife of balancing heaven and hell's needs, along with that of our planet. So it's pretty interesting with how it does this. So let's get started so I can explain some of it. A lot of people say, a lot of veterans of this game say that hell is pretty expensive. And they're kind of right, because you have to build some longer roads. So we'll start with heaven. There are a couple mechanics here we need to get going. Basically, souls are going to start flooding in from our world. Now, right now, this world, you can even tamper with the world itself and their beliefs. You have souls that are going to come in, and they'll either believe in heaven and hell, heaven or hell, one or the other, or they might not believe in any afterlife at all. But we're going to start out with someone believing in one or the other, and we'll have to adjust our population needs. To get them to come here, we need to build a gate. One button to build it all, right here. Now, we're going to start small because the upkeep and the cost of these structures is pretty expensive. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and start with heaven right here. This will be pretty good. Okay. Next up, we'll have roads, like so. And then we're going to go ahead and heaven. Basically, you have to have an order in which the rewards in heaven, see how it says pride or humility up here? These are the rewards you can grant the souls that visit you. So we're going to go ahead and start zoning these out. And they go in reverse order in heaven and hell. Now, heaven likes a variety of structures here. Now, this is kind of big. And this is how you kind of zone for hell. But in my first area, I'm going to go ahead and zone like this. And basically, souls, as they travel here, they're going to get their different rewards. You know, starting at pride, or starting at humility, and they'll get their rewards for their peacefulness, their chastity, their diligence, their temperance, charity, which we need to place charity down, and ending with envy. Now, the souls can easily come here and settle at envy first, but that's okay. So one other thing we need to do is we need to place a training center, because we are going to be training angels and demons. So basically those are permanent souls that come in here and get trained in how to work the place and distribute rewards and everything else. So let me make sure we place the right one. Alright, so we'll start out with a community college right here. And these emit some pretty strong vibes. Vibes are used to evolve structures into their highest forms. The highest structure for each of these rewards is a 3x3 structure. That's why I zoned a 3x3. You can have a 2x2 and a 1x1, but that's what we're going to do right now. Later on, you can get rewards that have really good vibes to help you they help you evolve. They're called vibes help you evolve your structures. So that is pretty much that. The next thing we need to worry about is hell. I'll meet you down on the other side. Let's go. So here is heaven, right? We're going to build on that same side, pretty much, down here in hell. Now, hell likes roads to be longer and less compact than heaven. That's naturally how you can get things to work a little bit better. So here's hell.
Welcome.
Yeah. We'll build a nice little road down here. A lot of people say that, a lot of some veterans here say that, you know, building, you know, these kind of twisting roads here are a little bit better for hell. Oops. Built that a little bit too far, that corner there, but that's okay. And you start at the reverse end. Notice how we started first up here with, what was it? Humility? Well, in hell, this is called pride. Instead, it's the 7 deadly sins kind of thing. So you'll start in the reverse order. So we're going to start with envy. And so we'll just zone like this. Now, the gate vibes down here that these put out are the opposite of what you need to evolve. So me putting it right there, that's not the best thing. I'm saying that right off the bat, but we're just going to do it. Because some of these will evolve and some of them won't, and it's not a big deal. It just allows you, whenever structures evolve, it allows you to have cheaper amounts of demons or angels basically working in them, so you can save money. This is a game about earning money. And we'll go right here, and then you can have generic. Generics are pretty tough. They're like the end all. They can pretty much serve any soul in a moderate amount. We'll do that. Okay, so we've got these two done. Now, eventually in your afterlife, you're going to have souls that need to leave the afterlife. They're going to be like, okay, my punishment has been served. You know, I need to basically go now. So they need to board a karma station. And karma stations have the opposite vibes that you need. So we're going to build this. And basically the souls are going to board a karma train and go back to Earth in a new body, or their planet in a new body. So 1 second here. Oh, that's a port for crossing oceans. There's our ad infinitum, which is used to influence buildings evolving. Very good. They have to be attached to a road, and they emit bad vibes for the place they're in. So you kind of, this game's about balancing, in case some of this is like kind of sinking in for you. Oh, that allows us to blow shit up. Okay. Been a tiny bit since I played. There we go. So, karma station. We will put you right here at the end of the road. So, karma stations serve both heaven and hell. If we look down here, here's the actual karma station. Now we need to connect that karma station to the reincarnation portal, which is right here. That allows souls basically that are done in heaven to go out. And heaven and hell actually co-locate in this area. I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. So let me get... Nope, we don't want any of that. Those are banks you can get loans from, and the loans operate differently depending on heaven or hell. Where are you? Here we go. And then... I think this is the track. Yep. There we go. So let's go ahead and do that. So if we look down here, there we go. The train track is now connected. And you see it lit up. It's not cracked and crappy anymore. We need to do the same thing for hell. So in hell, it's showing us where heaven's station is because it takes up the same amount of space. We can actually save a little bit of money by going over here. And as soon as the souls are done, they can reincarnate. And I'll put another karma station right here. And if we go up here, check it out. They're both connected to the same track. They can leave. Now, each of these have their own capacity. Like this one, its capacity is only 200 souls at a time at a max amount of time here that it can reincarnate. Any more than that, you need to upgrade to the Magic Bus karma station. So that costs 500,000 pennies, and it has a capacity of 10,000 people. So, the last thing we're going to need is, let's build some road here. We're going to want some ad infinitum. Ad infinitum allows your structures to evolve faster. It's the mysterious energy of heaven and hell. Here we go. You just build it right onto a rock, and as you see here, it's taking this up. This charge will spread along the road, allowing these structures to evolve in their higher forms. However, they produce toxic waste, and they're kind of nasty. So in heaven, you kind of need to keep them a little bit away from your structures, so that means going to incur a cost just by keeping them around. So we spent a decent amount here. There we go, we'll build another road. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom out. And we're going to go ahead and go with the tempo and demonically fast. And then we need to stop. Oh god. I went too fast. Alright, so we have 143 lost souls, and that's a disaster. Those can happen. And each of the disasters do their different things. I forgot what the bats of hell do, but they kind of fuck shit up, like structures, I think. They blow everything up. So, let's talk about the next aspect. See, our towns have grown. We pretty much set it to fast. Our structures are kind of growing, and we're running into some issues here already, like lots of them. Are the bats going to fuck with me? First issue, in both heaven and hell, I'm pretty sure. See these spikes along the road? That means lost souls, and they're looking for green territory. You know, they're like saying, hey, we're looking for, what is it called in hell? Envy? Looking for an envy place to get punished, but we can't find it. It's the same for lust over here. They're like, hey, we're looking for a lust punishment. We can't find it. So every time you have a lost soul, you're going to lose a fuck ton of money. It's nasty. Alright, they fluttered away. Yay. Okay, so we're good to go on that. Oops. Nuke that shit. So over here in heaven, however, we are running out of contented squares. 2 of them, and then that light blue is humility. We have, you know, we're just running a trauma. Also, I forgot to build a training station down here. Fuck. Alright, so let's do that. Gotta love it. This game has a lot of attitude, you know, for how it does shit. It's pretty nice. So we have 2 advisors down here. Jasper and Arya, 1 for heaven, 1 for hell.
I'd be remiss in my duties if I didn't inform you that your demons are a bit peeved.
So are the angels. We're tired of communing from other afterlives.
If you've got the money, you should build topias for your workforce. They'll provide housing for your angels and demons and cut your labor costs in half.
Alright, so topias are places for them to live, I believe. And then we have training centers.
Don't look now, boss, but the demons are ripping you off.
Now, mon petit cherub. No one's being ripped off here. My demonic brethren are simply demanding a fair market value for their specialized services.
Like tormenting and torturing?
Precisely. Since the Demiurge hasn't seen fit to build a demonic training center, it's obvious that he's decided to stick with imported, expensive demons.
But that's stupid.
From your lips to the Demiurge's ears, my dear.
So, basically right here where it says topias, it shows you where this issue is affecting, you know, which plane. So right here, you can see it's affecting hell, affecting heaven. The training centers issue we just talked about is obviously only affecting hell, based upon their dialogue as well, you can tell.
Nerve toggles, boss. Heaven's soul losses are getting a little bit out of control. Maybe you'd better take a few minutes to zone for some new reward structures.
So obviously, yeah, we're having a lot of our lost souls in heaven rather than hell.
It appears as though heaven could use a few more ad infinitum siphons.
Yeah? Well, it looks like hell could use some too, so there. Yeah.
Hell seems to be losing a trifling, nearly insignificant number of souls. While this isn't busting your budget, it'd probably be wise to attend to the problem before it escalates. Check the graph view to find out which punishments are overflowing and zone accordingly.
Exactly. So, now we know our issues here. We need to build a place for them to live. So, that's the training centers. We already have the gates for the souls to come in. Here we go. So, these will hold 22,222, you know, of angels and whatnot. So, we need... Yep, that's a bit too big. And it needs to be attached to a road. So, put you right here. Now, I believe the vibes that those put out are kind of bad, but we can always zone a little bit extra. Okay. So there we go. Places for them to live. That's good. Now, there's one other aspect of this game that allows your structures to evolve that we haven't gotten into yet. That's balancing. Balancing is pretty much, hey, you know, we have permanent souls and we have temporary souls. Temporary souls, you know, they're going to be, you know, leaving here pretty soon. Permanent souls are the souls who believe that, okay, there is no reincarnation. We don't believe in it, so we're going to stick around in this afterlife forever. And they require different kinds of punishments or rewards. Permanent souls require mental punishments and rewards, while temporary souls need physical ones. So, basically, each one of these little structures you see here, like these 1x1s, like that evolved instead of like the 2x2s, yeah, they need to be balanced one by one. It's kind of a pain in the ass in this game. Just gonna be fucking honest about that shit. So there's a couple ways to handle it. You can go up here and go to the macro manager, and you can select everything. And in the beginning of the game, this can be pretty cheap. And you can say all right here. You don't need to click everything like I just did. So this will affect 129 structures. It'll cost you 3,335. Easy way to do it. There we go. It's all balanced now. So you can double check that by going into your graphs. And you can look at our labor graph, which, yeah, we need to make sure that... here's a good example of what labor does, because you really can't see it. This game really doesn't show you, like, what the hell's going on. It's very vague with its graphics. You know, it has pretty colored buildings and shit popping up and harps and fucking crap going nuts, but you're like, what the hell is going on? Well, this is going to tell you a lot more. In heaven, we built only the one training center. We didn't have one in hell. Jasper even mentioned that. He's like, hey, he's importing expensive demons. Well, here's where you can tell the difference. So right here, heaven, we have 52% imported, 100% commuting. So that means no one lives there, because I didn't build a topia. You know, we are training our own, but they don't have anywhere to live. This costs us 288 pennies per year, and their AQ, their angel quotient, basically how good are they at their job, is 76. Now, I'll go into that later on what that means. But for right now, focus on the cost. You know, obviously, by us training our own angels, besides, you know, importing the angels, that cuts down on our cost big time. It's almost double the cost over here for 100% importing. But the DQ is better. So we're also employing more demons than angels, so it's costing us a lot more. The graph I wanted to show you was, oh yeah, here's the belief graph, and this looks probably like just like nonsense to you if you've never played the game before. So here's also the balance of heaven and hell. But I'm looking for balance, structure balance. That's what I wanted to show you. I don't think it's in here. Maybe it is right here. Alright, so let's look at heaven first. Efficiency. Efficiency is like the big overall score of like, hey, are the roads perfect? What's your angel or demon quotient? How balanced are the vibes? Do we have enough ad infinitum? Like, it is the end-all be-all. We'll talk about that more. Here's vibes, of course, which, yeah, bad vibes in heaven are bad, good vibes in heaven are good. It's the reverse in hell. Here we go, balance. This temporary and permanent ratio. So basically what you can do is you can click, oops, you can click on the macro view here on this guy, and hey, this is perfect playgrounds, a reward for peaceful souls. It's 32% full, it has 8 pop. You can read about it here, of course. It is poorly balanced. However, that's not, well, you're supposed to balance it until it's white. Until it's gray, I'm sorry. Why did it say it was poorly balanced? I just paid for it. Yeah, a lot of these are like F. Oh, that's efficiency. My bad. Yeah, efficiency takes a little bit to get right. You have to really plan things correctly. This isn't a game of like, hey, it's SimCity, I'm gonna like zone everything like, you know, real quick and have a big sprawling city. No, you'll have a pretty small city for a while, you know, and it's easy to get up into the millions of population, you know, early in the game. So basically, yeah, I was trying to look at the balance here. 1 second. Okay, so basically here we had a very poorly balanced structure. The temporary pop needs more physical, like I was saying. Here, when you click on the macro view, like we'll just do a new one. Like here. This one is the Eternal Afternoon. This one is actually pretty well balanced, it looks like. Extremely well balanced. But yeah, that's because it has temporary population of 17 souls. That means slider has to be all the way to 100% physical. For something more mixed, like right here, we have temp pop of 4, so this one's not balanced. But if we move it to here, this turns white, which shows us, hey, it is balanced. Same thing. Zone for contentment. So that's how you do it. And that's why I'm saying it's better to use like the penny thing, or the macro manager in the beginning. Penny thing? I don't even know what the hell I was thinking. So yeah, we can pay again to go ahead and manually balance, or to auto balance. Oh, okay, I see. So when I paid for this the first time, it manually balanced everything just to 50-50, which is terrible. That was the stupidest thing I could have done. I should have set it to automatically. So here, you can see the costs a lot more. It's usually good to do it the first couple times in the game, unless it's like really expensive. Towards the late game where it's like, oh my gosh, it's so much micromanagement, save up for it, you know, and then do it. You know, you just don't do it super frequently. Only do it whenever you're making big changes. So now, like, let's just click on a random one. See, automatically balanced. They should all be white. And they are. Where's one of them that... Horribly undiverse. D for efficiency. So yeah, these things aren't going to like evolve because like they're either under like bad vibes or like their efficiency isn't that good, taking about 6 steps to reach. So, but they're well balanced. And some of these, like the higher up structures, you can actually get a picture of them. Like so. This is the Eternal Afternoon. It's a reward for diligent souls, and you can see like a little picture of it. It's pretty cool. So, we've covered some of the bare basics here. We haven't even started solving some of the problems, but we covered a lot of ground with the mechanics. So hopefully by this point you either know you're never going to give a shit about this game anymore, and you're just going to turn off this LP and fuck off. Or if you're curious and you want to see, you know, how far we can take this and balance heaven and hell, what this game has to offer, you now can follow along. Because most people, if you haven't played this game before and you're just looking at me playing, it's going to make no fucking sense. So, I will catch you on the next one.